Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, y'all, another opportunity, right, to either make money in the market or to just learn from the market. So let me go ahead and give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. With that being said, y'all, let's get started. So we are looking at the VIX, and as you can see yesterday, it was interesting, right? So we came down to 1194 as a support level. We tested this area, bounced back from that, but we're not far from that now. So as of now, pre-market support is right here at 1219, resistance at 1227, which is right there at the resistance is right at the 20 EMA. So I would definitely watch that area. Above that can send us back to the upside, which will in turn send SPY to the downside. So as of now, we are under the 5 EMA. The low of this candle is 1212, and we have not closed. So we're still waiting on this candle to closing. I do believe we have economic data coming out at 8:30. So I always say, y'all, anything is possible in the market. So if the VIX should decide to go back to let's go to the downside, we can come back and retest this 1204 area and back down to 1198, and then that 1194, it can move in either direction. Now to the upside, if it should break above the 1227, just know we're going to have trouble at 1236, again at 1240 and 1244. So with that being said, let's go look at the SPY to see where we are at this point. And the SPY is interesting because we made highs just 544. That is interesting, and that's something that we need to definitely be mindful of, because we could come back and retest that and break through it, or that can be our rejection place and we go back to the downside. So anything is possible. I say that often, right? So right now, SPY came down and tested this 541.53 or 541.38, which was our kind of close to our 50 EMA. It bounced off the 50 EMA only for price to come back to this area of 541.85. So I have that as a pre-market support, 541.85, and resistance at 542.60. So that is above the 5 EMA and the 20 EMA. Just know that we are going to have trouble at 543.34, and if we break that 543.34 area, we can come back to this 544.13 area. So that's something to be mindful of. Now, can it continue climbing? It very well can. And let's see how much it normally moves on a daily basis. $5.30. So it can move $5.30 in either direction, that's to the upside or to the downside. So if we break under this 50 EMA, which is around the 541.38, SPY can come all the way back down to 537.72, or the 200 EMA at 537.60, or the 537.06. Now it would not surprise me, honestly, to see the SPY back at the 536, 537 range, based on, and my reason is because of this candle that we had on yesterday. We traded in this area here. Again, it wouldn't surprise me to see us back at this 537 area. Again, I say it all the time, y'all, anything is possible. Tesla gapped up this morning, and we closed at 177.29. It just made a high of 190. So I have the pre-market support at 185.63 and resistance at 189.96. As you can see, we keep coming up to this line and we're getting rejected. So are we going to bounce through this line here? That's something to be mindful of with Tesla. And Tesla, it normally moves, let's see, $6.38, and that's again in either direction. So if I traded Tesla today, just know that if we break this 190 area, we can come all the way up to 193, and there's some stops in between. Let's see. Yeah, I've already cleared that. There is some stops in between. It wouldn't surprise me. Tesla never surprises me. Let me say that. So to the downside with Tesla now, we are above the 5 EMA, which is at the 188.40 area. If we should come back to the downside, considering we have gapped up today a lot, so below 185.63 gives us a downside. We can come down to 182.96, which is right at the 20 EMA at 183.62. And if we break that, just know that we're going to have trouble right here at 180.67 and at 180.09. So Tesla has gapped up a lot today, And again, anything is possible. And I always say, y'all, allow the chart to come to you and don't rush into your trades. Make sure you have confirmation. NVIDIA is moving in our gathering spot. As you can see here, we're above the 5 EMA, which is holding as our support at the 127.91 area. I do have pre-market support at 127.50 or 127.49 and resistance at 128.37. And as you can see, we have tested this almost 3 times, right? So we could very well break through this area here. And if I'm not mistaken, the video now moves about $10.98 per day. So again, that can be in either direction. I always say trade carefully, right? So under the 127.49, we can come back and retest the 126.93, which is the 20 EMA. Just know that this 126.26 is also another level of support for NVIDIA, and this ATR trailing stop that's forming now around the 125.72 is another area of support, which brings us very close to the 125.12. So if NVIDIA should get rejected here, those are the support places to the downside. So I always say, y'all, wait on the chart wait on the candles to come to you. And if I'm looking at a higher time frame, I will go to a smaller time frame and use that to make my decisions, and I would wait on the candle to close. So let's go to AMD. We'll come back to the SPY and Tesla. AMD has broken out of the gathering spot that I had marked this morning, and it's interesting how it moves, in my opinion, right? So we just had a nice little pop here. Our rejection is at 161.39, and the resistance I had marked for pre-market was at 160.58. We've already broken through that above the 5 EMA. The 5 EMA was at the 160.88. Okay, so we just tested that and just got rejected really, really quick, right? So that's something to be mindful of, right? That's something the information must have come out already. So let's say AMD support right now is at the 160.21. Resistance is at 160.58. That is right at the 5 EMA. That is now our new support level. So below 160.58. Resistance at 161.39, and it looks like we have come down and back up to that. So let's let the market settle just a little bit, because I know it can seem confusing because it went up and then it came back down. So yeah, as of now, I will watch the 160.58 area and the 161.39. If we break the 161.39, 161.97, 162.32, and 162.72 are areas of, resistance for us for AMD. Just know the 200 EMA is at the 162.21. Now to the downside, if we decide to come back under this 160.35 area or 160, 24, 25 area, just know that we can come back and find support at 160.04, again at 159.87 and 159.52, 159.18, and this ATR trailing stop at 158.84. Those are trouble places or support places, and our resistance for AMD. And I'm going to go back to the SPY because that data must have come out already, because the way that AMD was just moving. Yes, SPY has broken through our ATR trailing stop. It looks as if it's getting rejected at this high. The high of this candle thus far is 544.03. We got rejected and came back down. So we are right at the ATR trailing stop. I would definitely watch this area for the SPY of the 543.31. It needs to stay above that to continue to the upside. So can we, get rejected and come back to the downside? We very well can. And let's look at Tesla just really quick to see where we are. Tesla made a new high of that 191, which is really interesting. Let's say that. So Tesla is moving this morning. And again, y'all, I always say it's going to keep moving until it hits resistance. And once it gets rejected, once we are getting, hitting that resistance, it's going to get rejected, and we don't know how that decline is going to fall. So yeah, I always say trade carefully, right? So this back at the SPY seems to be, the economic data must have came out good. So it looks like SPY is still moving to the upside. Just know that 544.13, it needs to break above that and close above that. And the VIX came back down to this 1194, 1195. The low of this candle is 1196. We came back, but that is our support area. It could have continued continue down, but we marked that as a level of support, and it found support right here. So I would say, y'all, today is going to be an interesting day. Don't rush into your trades. Trade carefully. I do these videos to show what I see in the market when I look at the market, but y'all, anything could change when the bell ring. I always say that's go time. Again, wait on your confirmations and trade what you see, y'all. I hope these are very, very helpful for you. I hope that everyone have a very profitable day, a very productive day today. And y'all know I always like to leave you with this: be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.